One of the Greats, an audio story written by TAS155. Henry the Green Engine sat in the sheds reflecting on the day's events. It was a very eventful day for him, and not in a good way. Despite all the new parts the Fat Director gave him, he still failed pulling a passenger train, and one of the loaned engines had to come and rescue him. After they returned to Tidmouth, the loaned engine gave Henry quite the mouthful.
"Useless, I say, useless! I have no idea why the Fat Director keeps you around and lets you have that number," snarled the engine.
"I'm trying my best," replied Henry half-heartedly. At this time, Henry had been insulted so much it barely stung anymore.
"And all that time and effort is useless," hissed the engine in response. "All those parts should be put towards repairing the reliable engines, and not some failure who will never be anything but. The Fat Director and you should realize by now you'll never be like us. You will never be one of the greats."
It was at this point Gordon pulled in with the express and heard the end of the conversation. And even though Gordon did say something, it wasn't exactly standing up for Henry.
"Come now, 98462, bullying lesser engines. You're better than that,"
interjected Gordon crossly, scolding the other engine. The two other engines continued as Henry was deep in thought, until the other engine dragged Henry to the sheds and then went back to work. As Henry was reflecting on the scenario, another engine rolled alongside the green engine. "Hello, Henry," came a soft greeting from Edward. Henry responded with a downcast, "Hello," and looked down at his buffers. Edward took note of this saddened reply. "Is something bothering you, Henry?" he inquired gently. Henry sighed and told Edward what had happened. "But that last line," said Henry, finishing his story, "that I'll never be one of the greats. That really stung." Edward gave a look that seemed to be building a tad bit of anger, but keeping it down. "Well, Henry, you shouldn't listen to them, because it's not true," Edward responded. "How is it not true?" exclaimed Henry angrily. "You should know as well as anyone, I'm a failure. I'm not strong, I'm not fast, and after everything the Fat Director gave me, new paint, new parts, reduced workloads, and I still can't be anything but a failure to everyone. It's just like that engine said, Edward. I'll never be like them. I'll never be one of the greats." "But you're not a failure to me," replied Edward. Henry stopped and calmed down. After he had, Edward continued, "You're not a failure, not to me, not to Thomas, not to your friends. That's the thing, Henry. Being great doesn't only mean being the fastest or the strongest, but how you impact others. You, Henry the Green Engine, are one of those greats. You are a great friend who is friendly and kind to everyone, even the ones that don't return the favor. They may not see it, but you are greater than all of them, Henry." Henry's sad face brightened into a warm smile. "Thank you, Edward. I needed to hear that." "It's no problem at all," chuckled Edward, and the two engines chatted away about other things for the rest of the evening.